It likes to fuck with my video feed, I guess. So I'm gonna give it a second.
No worries.
Good.
And now why isn't this working? What the hell? Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to the Cross Media Show, episode 11. We are talking about blah Cobra Kai season 3. Sorry, my brain farted. Cobra Kai season 3 review. I have today with me Holland. How's it going, Holland?
It's going good. I'm
Pretty
excited
good.
about this.
Yeah, me too. I also have Ryan with me. How's it going, buddy?
Hey. Doing pretty good. First episode of the year we're doing?
Second episode.
Second episode.
Yes.
Wow. God, going fast.
I know, right? We also have Saj. How's it going, Saj?
It's going pretty good, man. I'm really excited for this review. I love the show.
Yeah, me too. It's going to be very exciting. And first time on the show, we have Jess. Jess, how's it going?
Good, and super excited
Yes.
to talk about the Chappie, no Chappie.
Well, good. I'm glad you are. So let's go around. Before we actually go around and say stuff, what the hell? Why do I keep screwing this up? I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Like it's not working, but it is. What the hell? Let's go around and there we go. Sorry, before we go around, I should probably mention it's a new year for the Penultimate Conquest. We are talking about we are doing some new shows this year. Ryan is having his own anime show, where we're going to be reviewing some anime.
Hey, super excited for that.
Yeah, very excited. Me and Eric are hosting MCU WandaVision review podcasts, I guess, where we're reviewing each episode of WandaVision. It's going to be really fun. And Eric is also bringing back the Destiny podcast, which I'm kind of excited for because I see Eric in his element, and it's good to see Eric in his own element. You know, like he's very happy when he's talking about Destiny. So I'm happy that we're bringing that back.
It's always good to see Eric happy.
Yes, that is very true. Let's get right into it. How insane was this to start the year of 2021 with such a great fucking season of Cobra Kai?
And they released it early.
Yeah.
They just dropped it.
They were like,
that was
fuck it.
awesome.
We're going to start 2021 off the right way and just release.
Send it to the internet.
Yeah, exactly. And man, oh man, what a great fucking season, guys.
It was fantastic. It was stressful.
Yeah,
But it was so good.
so good.
It's
Ryan, what did you think of Cobra Kai season 3?
God, I absolutely loved it. It was so good. It was intense in some moments, funny in others. Just how I like Cobra Kai. But it was perfect. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Saj, what about you?
Same. I absolutely loved it. It was exactly what I hoped for. A lot darker, but still had its goofy moments. Great season finale. I can't wait till we see what's next.
Yeah, it's going to be a long way until season 4, and I need it already.
Yeah.
Jess, what did you think of Cobra Kai season 3?
So I had a lot of fun with season 3, but I actually, over the last week and a half, is the first time that I've watched any Cobra Kai, and I watched it just all in a row.
Yes.
So,
What did you think?
you can really see where Netflix came in and was like, now you have money. But
Yeah.
But aside from that, like I loved the spirit of the show. I love the fight scenes. The choreography was great. in all of them, and I'm really excited to where they took it. I didn't see a lot of that stuff coming,
Yeah,
and it was really exciting.
absolutely. I think this season, I'm always hoping every time I see Karate Kid, like they realize that both sides are, like they had said in this season, that there's three sides to the story. There's your side, my side, and the truth. And I was always hoping for either of the Karate Kids to really touch on that, and the fact that they finally are like working as a team to take down freaking
Crease.
yeah, it's just so fucking great, man. I am so hyped for season 4, and I know it's a long way away, but I don't care. I'm still hype. I'm riding this hype train as far as I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started watching Cobra Kai in November. When my friend, I mean, I've always heard of it, but I didn't really watch the Karate Kids growing up. Karate Kid movies. Sorry.
That's all right.
So, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to watch those or not. And my friends like, no, you have to watch the show. You don't need to see the movies because they basically flash back anything you need to know.
Yeah.
So, when I started watching it, and I watched season 1 and 2, I think since then I've just restarted and watched the show at least like 4 or 5 times. Like, like it's amazing. And
Yeah.
then of course season 3, yeah, definitely the most intense one. And I love the direction it's going.
Yes, me too. And I'm excited for whatever season 4 gives us. And I just can't wait. Holland, what did you think of season? Elaborate what you thought was the best part of season 3.
There was a lot that I really enjoyed about it. I thought the premiere was really good, and it was painful. This show is so brutal. It does not hold back with the violence, like you think it would. So, and them replaying Miguel hitting the stairs over and over and over throughout that first episode.
Yep.
Like, it got to the point where we would think that they were about to show it, and Carlos and I would just go, and we would just like bunch ourselves up waiting for the impact, and we're just like, can we stop with the crunching and the bone breaking sounds? And but
I
I
die a
think,
little inside.
oh gosh, it was so bad.
Like every single time you hear it. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying that every single time I hear that back crack, it kills me a little bit inside.
Oh yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, it's freaking horrible, and it's ugh. But there was I think one of my favorite episodes. I'm not a big fan of Daniel's character.
Okay.
Like, he's trying, he wants, I know he's like trying to do the right thing, but he's so like focused that his way is the only way, and so he ends up doing things the wrong way. It's just he's like, oh well, Mr. Miyagi did this, and it's like, you're not Mr. Miyagi. Like, he had a different life experience than you, but not everything's going to translate for you.
Yeah.
You have to find your own way. But so he's not my favorite character, but him going back to Okinawa and seeing the characters from the second movie, like it, seeing his old enemy and seeing the original Miyagi-Do and everything, and the girl reading back Mr. Miyagi's letter, his little love letter that he had.
Yep.
The love letter broke me. I was sitting there
Same.
just sobbing like a little baby, and like it absolutely killed me. I thought it was beautiful. There's so many good moments in this show, and this season was incredible. And I saw Hawk, his little arc. I saw that like kind of happening, and I was just like, oh gosh, yes, please. I need you to stop what you're doing. You're down the wrong path. Please get out of it. Snap out of it. And like his situation with Dimitri in the old like laser tag place and
Yeah.
the snap, it's something
Yeah.
that I'm always going to hear because it was just it was so bad and brutal, and you saw it just kind of mess with him and everything moving on. It just, I don't know. I'm really glad that we finally got to that thing that we all saw coming, is that they were eventually going to have to join forces. And I'm so glad we got to see that in that final episode. And because that finale was incredible. I loved it. I was not a big fan of Allie. I was talking some mad shit while we were watching that
Okay.
episode. Because whenever it was like, because when Johnny got with Carmen and that finally culminated in them having their night, and I was like, he just got a message. It's going to be freaking Allie. She's going to be wanting to see him or something for some reason. And I was getting so mad. And then sure enough, that's what happens. And he goes out with her. And I'm like, when are you going to tell her? When are you going to tell her that you're seeing somebody? Like, I need you to stop with this nonsense. And then Allie was being so messy when they got to that Christmas party. She's like, oh yeah, well, I dated him and then I dated him and this is why. And she was just
being an instigator.
she was being an instigator, and it drove me absolutely batshit crazy.
She was being an instigator, but also like I think it's what they both needed because
They did absolutely need
yeah, because they never took a second.
Mhm.
They never took a second to like realize like what the other one was going through.
Mm-hmm.
Like Daniel said,
I agree.
Yeah, Daniel said it himself, where he was like, "Oh, I didn't know who she was. Like I just met her on the beach. Like I didn't know she was dating this guy. I just met her on the beach, and then all of Karate Kid 1 happens. And what I what I liked about Allie was that I thought it was going to go where she and him get together and she moves back to Reseda, but
I thought she was gonna fuck up everything. I thought she was gonna fuck up
yeah,
everything.
I also thought
Yeah.
that too, but I'm glad that she didn't. I'm glad that she was the voice of reasoning, where she was like, Johnny, don't be stupid. Like, go get the girl, you know?
And she also, I mean, in a way, made Danny and Johnny both realize, you know what? Like, we're really fighting for the same thing here. We just have different ways of looking at it.
Yeah.
And she's like, maybe you guys are exactly the same, and maybe that's why you're not getting along. You both need to stop being so hard-headed and find a common ground. And then that came with beating Kreese and getting rid of Kreese's Cobra Kai. And yeah.
I'm not denying that she had a very important role to kind of bring about that realization. And she had that line of like, no, there's not one side and like his side and your side. It's his side, your side, and the truth.
Yeah.
That I'm not denying that she was integral for that part, and that like the hug between her and Johnny at the end of the night, that was perfect. I was like, that's exactly what they needed right there. She was very important for that, but it took so like just I'm so like Team Carmen, basically, I guess you could say, that I was just cringing the whole time. I'm like, oh, I just need him to stop. I need him to just, he's been in the past for so long, not even knowing how to work Facebook or a phone or, not a computer, whatever. I was like, you are still in the past. I need you to get out. And she said, we can't live in the past. I was like, thank goodness this woman has some sense.
He never like 100% moved on, and that was just the closure they needed for him to just realize, like, hey, you know what? There's this other girl that I'm currently in love with, and I just held on to the love that we had for all these. What I guess they said it was 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and you know, I mean, there's always going to be that person for most people that want, you know, the one that got away, and sometimes you don't get closure, and it does bug people. And I'm glad that she was there to say, hey, you know what, we can't be living in the past, and you have somebody, you have something good going on now. You should pursue that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the whole Christmas party scene because you have this outside perspective of Allie coming in who has no idea what's going on, is getting the TLDR of like, oh yeah, they're at war. You know, and it's just
yeah,
like, oh
they have,
again,
they
these
have more
boys.
Can I just say something really quick? Is that Amanda LaRusso is the one real adult in the show.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
100%.
Oh,
The
100%,
only
100%.
one.
She is my
Like
favorite.
oh,
She's like,
she's my favorite
Same.
character too. She's just so funny.
let's try and settle this
Yeah,
without karate for once, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But I also
No.
really enjoyed because the entire time that this stuff has been happening, I've been like, how about someone call the cops? Maybe let's get the cops.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then she actually goes that route and he cuts her off and is like, oh no, I already did that and you've got a restraining order now.
Yep.
And
Her
then,
outburst in the city council meeting was so good. It made me
yeah,
so like
Oh,
I felt so bad
fantastic.
for her, but it gave me like this kind of little joy. I was like, oh, this is such a great little comedic moment, even though it's like a serious thing, and I hate Crease's face
Mm-hmm.
because he's
me
just such a
too.
pain.
I
But
watched what ensue with some people while we were chatting on the PlayStation chat, and every single time Kreese came on, I was just talking shit the entire time. Same with Tori. I was making things, I was saying things that made no sense, but they were insults. You know, I hate them both.
I
I
feel.
thought it
I
was,
wanted to like Tori.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought
me
it
too.
was cool that we got Kreese's backstory finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like seeing how he descended into madness.
Mm-hmm. But I also,
Mhm.
I also like that we're going back to Karate Kid 3's plot where he calls in an old friend and he's like, I need you to do me a favor. I have a feeling he's just going to it's going to be Karate Kid 3 all over again, where he just tells his friend to sign up for the tournament. And they're going to be like, well, there's no actual legal clause where you have to be 18. And it's just going to be
Well, I think it's
insanity.
Oh,
No, beat
I
up
think it
this
should be
grizzled
under
war
18.
vet.
Yeah. Or like,
Well, I mean, this season took it back to Karate Kid 2, so I could definitely see it going to 3 next season.
yeah, absolutely.
Mhm. Yeah.
And Chosen in this season was phenomenal.
Yes.
He did such a good job of being just like this serious yet comedic guy. Like especially when Danny's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get a drink." He's like, "No, I'm gonna get it." Like just in such an angry way. And then and then there's also okay. So off topic from Chosen. So the one thing I noticed and what I really appreciate, and I think a lot of people didn't notice this, is that first season obviously Johnny and Danny didn't really change their opinion. But Johnny, it's no mercy. For uh, Daniel, it's defense only. And then you notice in season 2, Johnny's like, oh well, it's sometimes good to show mercy. You should show some mercy and some honor. And then in season 3, you realize that Daniel, because he went to the Miyagi dojo and learned all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then Kreese says, "Oh, this defense thing's only going to last you so long." He's like, "It's a good thing. That's not what all about. That's not what I have to do anymore."
Yeah.
So you kind of see them separately, starting to like merge as a type of karate, and I think that's what's gonna make them teaming up successful. Is that Johnny realizing that okay, you should show some mercy, and Daniel's saying okay, well you don't always have to do karate for just defense,
Yeah.
and it kind of gives them a little middle ground instead of them going to be being argumentative all the time because of it.
Absolutely. I think that like you had said when he went to Japan. First off, I'm gonna say it right now. I honestly thought he was gonna forget about his wife and definitely do things with Kimiko.
Oh, with Kimiko.
Yeah.
That was
Ab-
another one where I was like, "Excuse me, are you gonna like? What are you doing?" These guys with these old flames. I
Yeah.
was like, "Y'all both have women right now who are very level-headed, very adult, very good." And I'm not saying that these other women are not. Like, I love Kimiko, but I was like, "What do you stop? Like, do you remember you have a wife back home?"
She literally said
He has-
nobody
he
has
has a
ever
sign
compared.
back
Okay.
Yes.
And I was just like, oh,
Them back
okay, is something's gonna happen here. And then I like how they tied it back to just the my favorite Chosen part was when he demonstrates the pressure points, and he goes in for the kill, and then he just grabs his nose, just honks
I
it,
laughed so hard.
and I'm like, oh great, this is fantastic. Like,
You get to see a side of Chosen that you never got to see before.
yeah,
And it
and
was
Yeah.
it was just really
Side
great.
you never expected to see.
Exactly. You never expected to see it. I burst out laughing, and it took me a minute. I was like, I was not ready for that. I was not prepared. That was beautiful.
Yeah, really great. Ryan.
Also, you know, just him showing up to the town and it being a shopping center,
Yep.
just a priceless moment.
Oh, hilarious.
It kind of like killed me a little inside where I was like, damn.
Okinawa is still beautiful. I've always wanted. I've been in Japan twice, but not Okinawa. But I've seen a lot of friends with pictures, and it's still beautiful. There's just where he was going. There happened to be a mall that got built over it.
Yeah, because if you remember in the second one, nobody knew where this fucking town was, and it was right next to the army base. And I'm glad that it's no longer like, oh, we don't know where this is. Like it's a popular place, but I'm also kind of saddened that it's a freaking mall.
Yeah, it used to be just like a small
Definitely.
village.
Yeah, kind of sucks, but it's okay. I do like the story, the storyline that happened in Japan, which is really good.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
could see Yuna again.
Yeah, which was insane.
Completely saved.
Which,
saved his,
yeah, I was like, all right, this is a bit of a stretch, but I'll allow it just because, like, the
Coinc-
craziness.
yeah.
Yeah, the craziness of this universe. Ryan, what was something that your favorite part of the season?
Ooh, my favorite part of the season. Probably just the whole storyline with Hawk of him going deeper down and starting to question the Cobra Kai teachings to then at the end teaming up with Dimitri, being friends again and joining that.
Yep.
That's probably one of my favorite parts of the season, was just seeing his storyline. Another one that also really appreciated throughout this one was just a lot of the rehab scenes for Miguel and Johnny, and just watching their relationship grow and stuff.
Yeah,
Of him
absolutely.
just helping him out for the entire way, and not really knowing
They are
how to help him.
Yeah, they were fantastic on screen together. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, it was just that was probably my two favorite parts of the show this season.
Yeah.
And anything in the final episode, because that was just a hell of a finale.
Oh, yeah.
It really was. The Christmas music laid in with the fighting scene.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Oh my god.
I hate Christmas music, but I was like, this is so
Whoa.
cool.
Whoa. You hate Christmas music.
I really do.
You didn't put this in your
I can't.
application, okay? I'm going to have to rethink.
Yeah, it was like a combination of the hallway scene.
I kept these things
and
hidden.
music, yeah.
It was
There's something about someone just getting their face kicked in to Christmas music that just works.
it
Was
really
that the theory?
did.
Also, there was one part that really ticked me off where they just like pretty much like break into the house and just start kicking ass. Like, you brought 9 guys. That's not fucking fair at all.
Yeah.
I was like, I know, like, y'all are having trouble with this whole going to the police thing, but it's like, that was full on breaking and entering. They came into your house and assaulted y'all. Like,
Yeah.
just
They
because
broke
was on-
in
she was on-
with a friend.
They
They threw him through a
that
window.
poor kid, Bert. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
poor
yeah.
Bert.
Yeah.
He gets his ass handed to him left and right. I love his little rivalry with the other kid.
Yeah, I know exactly
like,
what you're talking about.
the earlier season, well, was it first or second season, when they're like showing, I think it was at Moon's party,
Yep.
and they're showing everyone opposite of like who their best friend was, and now they're on different teams.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, we've got like that one really like tall dude with the other tall dude. Okay. And then we see the little nerd, and I'm like, who is he gonna? And then show the other little nerd. I'm like,
Illy's
y'all
shaking
have
his
beef?
head.
What is
Yeah,
happening?
Absolutely.
Well, also,
So
we
that
noticed in
like
season
joke
3
carrying. I'm sorry, I was gonna say that little gag throughout the series has been so good, and it gets me and Carlos every time we see it. We die. We're just like, oh, it's probably one of our favorite parts of the entire series has been their little rivalry back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like in season 2 when they're fighting, you can see they have like the technique, but they're so young that like none of their punches or kicks are having any impact. I laugh every time.
Oh man.
One of the things that always drove me nuts
They're
because
trying.
them and the other set of friends, I'm like, you guys have literally no reason to be fighting except that you're on different sides because you decided to.
Oh, the two
Tori's
big
on
guys.
probation.
Which
them, yeah,
yeah.
because they were friends.
Yep.
And then yeah.
Yeah.
No. All good stuff.
Yep. Sash, what was your favorite? One of your favorite parts of this season?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know where to start. I think my favorite part, the part that got me the most was definitely the letter.
Yeah.
But favorite arc, say, probably Hawks also. Just like him actually breaking Dimitri's arm, and he's starting like he really just starts to realize he's like, why did I do that to my only genuine friend? All of his other friends are his friends because he's in Cobra Kai. There's no realism to that those friendships.
Yep.
So I liked that a lot. And then I do want to say one thing though. I loved the season finale for season 3, but I think I liked the season finale for season 2 a little bit better. I liked the hallway scene a little bit better, and the scenes at the school better.
Yeah.
And the ending did not hit me as hard as season 3's ending did not hit me in the feels as hard as season 2. That was a really intense one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's to answer your question, the letter definitely
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah, that letter. They knew what they were doing when they wrote that letter in, and I'm glad that they did because it was like one final moment for Daniel and Miyagi to have. Well, not for Daniel to see Miyagi in a different light, but also like find out what he truly meant to him. And I'm sure he knew what he meant to him, but like in Miyagi's words, which was great. Yeah.
I also wanted to mention the whole Robbie arc. Like it's very Anakin-like, but during the scene where Johnny was pretty much kicking Kreese's ass,
Yep.
and then Kreese, snuck up behind him because Johnny was making sure Robbie's okay, and you start to hear the crack in Johnny's neck. I honestly thought Johnny was gonna die in that finale.
Yeah.
I thought
Yes.
Kreese was gonna break his neck, and I was fully expecting it, and luckily Daniel kicked in and quite literally and saved him.
Akin to what you just said there, I was also of things like I was expecting that didn't happen. I was expecting in the final fight between Daniel's daughter and God, what's the other girl's name? I can never think of it.
Tori.
Yeah, Tori.
Tori, thank you.
with a Y.
In their fight, I thought they were going to. She was going to end up using the technique Daniel learned in Japan, the secret technique of the pressure points.
Yeah.
I don't think
I'd
she
expect
ever learned
that the
though.
entire fight.
I don't
Yeah,
think she ever learned that. I don't
she
think
didn't
ever
learn it.
taught her that.
I was expecting it to be just like a thing that we then would get a flashback to her learning it, like the day her and her father went fishing or something.
Yep.
Mm.
Like it was never shown on screen till it got used then.
Yeah, that would have actually been
Yeah.
really good if they had done that.
Yeah, that's something I was expecting. Yeah,
Another thing I liked.
I think that to be used like next season.
Another thing I liked a lot was what Ryan was saying is that you know his rehab and all that kind of stuff and how he was tapping his foot was such a heartwarming moment because you know he was there just to have fun and they made more progress than they did when they were actually trying.
Yep.
And you know that was just so genuinely heartwarming and you could see how happy he was. And then at the end when he was fighting. I'm trying to remember the Asian dude's name.
Kyler.
Kyler. And then Kyler was like, "Oh, you know, what kind of kick is that?" And you're thinking in your head, "Well, he was off his legs for so long, so he has atrophy." But then you kind of find out later on is that he grew those muscles back probably,
Yeah.
and when as soon as he was kicking ass with his legs again, you're like, "Oh, all he really needed was the confidence to do it again because he probably lost that confidence when he couldn't, hit the frisbee during practice.
Yeah.
And it was all in his head. And I really like that. That's when he said at the end of the fight, "Thanks for the motivation." And I thought that was really, really cool.
But also,
Yeah,
like,
that was
what kind of a name is Kyler? You know, it's either Kyle
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something else.
It's our Tyler. You can't both.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the name
Kyler.
of a villain.
It definitely is, and yeah, I feel like I actually don't like Hawk just because like his story arc went a little too far for me. But I mean, it is what it is. I prefer Dimitri's story arc this season, which is great because like he ended up with the popular girl,
Yasmin.
which
Yes.
is great. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, man, go for it.
Oh yeah, his confidence in this season is completely opposite of
What it's been,
the
yeah.
other two. Yeah, he's confident. You can even see he's standing up more straight. He always had that karate in him, and he just was so neurotic and nervous, and just was not confident at all.
No,
So he was like a late bloomer, I guess you could say.
which is fine.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when Hawk and him team up, it was super epic.
Yeah,
I loved that.
Yeah.
But with the whole thing with Hawk it's tough for me because Hawk is a likable character after that, but I hated him when he became Hawk. He was cool as Eli,
yes,
still very shy,
Mhm.
and then all that. But I will say one thing was really satisfying for me. I don't think I don't know if everybody was satisfied with that moment, was when he like punched the shit out of that bigger G that was Kyler's friend at the dojo.
yeah.
That was
that
it
was
was so
nuts.
satisfying. That was
so.
so satisfying for me because that guy was such a douche to Miguel in the first season, and he was just so obnoxious. And I was just like, "Damn, Hawk just completely destroyed him." It
Yep.
was satisfying.
When
I
he came
felt
back
bad
up
for
with his hands bloody, I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Too much.
Yeah, that
Too
was
much.
brutal.
Yeah.
I
Um,
But
definitely
I mean,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just gonna
It's
say
all
the-
you. I've talked enough.
Yeah, sorry.
The Dimitri Hawk where they circle up and they start fighting back to back like felt very Avengers to me.
oh yeah.
That same like yes, we're finally doing it.
Dragon
And
Ball
Dimitri's
Super.
been exactly, yeah. And Dimitri's been such a frustrating character because you feel like he's standing in his own way,
Yep.
Mhm.
and so to see him finally like capable was that felt good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think what was most frustrating was in season 2 where he's learning karate and he's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I do this? Why is it wax on, wax off? If I'm like, bro, just fucking pay attention to what he's teaching you. Like, he's teaching you
Like,
karate. Like, just let him teach you.
He's so funny, but he's so frustrating.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Oh God.
Like I love in season 1 where he like first goes into the dojo and then he's like, "You mean Rose?" And then after that, he's like, "Hey, if someone hits you in the nose, what do you do?" He's like, "Call the police."
Yeah.
Like, why are you in a karate class then, dude?
Oh man. So you guys had said your favorite characters. I honestly think I'm still with Johnny as my favorite character, which is kind of weird because I don't know if you guys know this, but How I Met Your Mother did a whole thing where they really hit with, oh, Johnny's actually the main character, and Daniel just came in and stole his girl and like became the bully, which changed the story for me. Like now I've always before that I always saw like, oh yeah, Daniel's doing what he's doing. He's doing the right thing. He's just like, he's trying to defend himself. But after that How I Met Your Mother episode and like whatever How I Met Your Mother did with the Karate Kid, I feel like I've grown up and I've realized like, oh shit, Daniel's in the wrong. And like somebody had said it in throughout, I think it was the first episode. I'm not really sure. I think it was the school meeting where they're like, somebody had said, "Oh, hey, did you steal his girl?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, it's about time." Somebody said it.
Yeah.
It was about time.
Some dude who remembers
Yeah.
a grudge from 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. No, I liked Hawk's thing, like his growth and seeing him do that. But Johnny is my favorite character.
Yeah.
And I keep mentioning that to Carlos. I'm like at this point he can do no wrong. I was like, I just love him. It's just he can absolutely do wrong. He does wrong all the time.
Yes.
But he has grown so much and he's trying so hard. And I think that's why I was so mad at Allie coming in whenever like he was finding this kind of situation with Carmen. It was just I was like, okay, I need her. Don't mess with Johnny. Don't mess with my Johnny. I love him. He is my absolute favorite character. When I also thought he was gonna die in the season finale, and I was like, no, I can't have this.
You can hear the cracking. I'm like, please.
Oh, I thought he was gonna come up and stab him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was
And
gonna
I
get
just-
stabbed with the size.
I was like, oh no, I can't watch this. And so I was getting like really, really worked up because I was like, if Johnny dies, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep watching this show. So I was gonna be so mad.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna die.
He's
when
my
Chris was,
favorite.
like about to crack his neck. You could hear like the neck like making the sound, and I'm like, please do not kill off Johnny.
That's the last thing we need. Can't have a Cobra Kai show without Johnny Lawrence.
Exactly.
William
Yeah.
Bepka has been a treasure through this whole thing.
Yes.
He has played this character so brilliantly to be this kind of like he's a time capsule, just out of place, out of time, and he's brilliant, and I love him so much in this role, like being revamped and everything.
Yeah.
I like what you said earlier, Ruben. I mean, TLDR, like it just goes to show that there's two sides to each story. He had in the first Karate Kid, he had Kreese forcing him to fight dirty and stuff like that, and then Danny was just he was doing what he had to do. But yeah, there's two sides to each story, and then this show does a really good job of showing Johnny's side.
Yeah.
And it was exactly like what you said when Neil Patrick Harris said in How I Met Your Mother, where he's like, "Oh no, he's the good guy."
Yeah.
He was the good guy. And then Ted's just like, are we talking about the same movie here?
Which I still believe like that was the inspiration for this show.
Might be.
According to the writers, no, that's not the case. Like they were thinking of this way before How I Met Your Mother did it, but I'm not buying it. I'm still thinking How I Met Your Mother was the inspiration for the show, which is great. I love that.
Conspiracy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Miguel is gonna be my favorite until he's off the show, because the very first one, the very first episode where he's getting, being all sweet and like, "Hi, I just moved here." He's just
It's like, oh great, another illegal.
I was
It's
like, this is
actually,
now my
we're from
son.
Riverside.
I was like, this is now my child, and I'm going to adopt him, and don't hurt him.
Yeah.
So when he broke his back, I was crushed.
Yeah.
One of the heartwarming moments in season 2 is when they were at that burger place, and it was just kind of like a genuine moment for Johnny, where he's like, he basically said like, I want what's best for you, like, in his own way, he was saying like, you're like a son to me,
Yeah.
in his very, in his very Johnny Lawrence type way, and that was really cool. So
I think one part of the show that I'm not a fan of is the whole Robbie situation. Like it's either shit or get
going
off the
full
pot.
Anakin.
No, it's not even going full Anakin. It's just like either shit or get off the pot. Like either you accept that your father has changed, or like you want Daniel to be a father figure for you. Like pick one.
Yeah, I hated that. Like, he was mad at Johnny because he didn't show up to the visiting thing, because he was taking care of Miguel, and then he got mad. He's like, "Oh, you chose Miguel over me." It's like, dude, you kicked him over a rail.
Yeah, exactly. Like what?
Like what am I doing wrong? It's your, like I understand you're frustrated I didn't come, but I had, this someone who I have interacted more intimately than you.
I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's like
not intimately, but you know what I mean by.
No. But I get what you're saying. But I feel like it's more of like I've already screwed things up with you. I can't possibly screw things up even more. So like, let me try to take care of this new relationship where he actually looks up to me, and I haven't disappointed him his entire life.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, regardless, like, I just don't like that. That's the reason that that Robbie hates him so much, to the fact that he feels like he needs to go to Kreese instead of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what pissed me off. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
completely
and I
agree.
feel like Robbie really swung through a bunch of extremes, because he was very hardcore about Cobra Kai doesn't change, you're a bad person, etc. And it's like, bro, weren't you stealing things like 6 months ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He like instantly turned. Yeah.
Sorry. I think I was thinking about this earlier today, that really this whole show, it's like pretty much all of the adults are just so stuck in the past and they can't figure their shit out, and it's bringing all these kids in. But the biggest thing is that all we're seeing is a bunch of kids who just want an adult who will listen to them.
Yeah.
That is all any of them want. And we're seeing that again and again and again with each and every one of them, that they just want someone like, and it doesn't work with Sam and Daniel, because he doesn't really listen to her.
No.
He will hear her, but he doesn't have like that. He doesn't slow down, and he doesn't have that connection where he like really, really takes in what she's saying to him. Whereas whenever Miguel talks to Johnny, he feels like he is heard. Or whenever, for a while, when Robbie would talk to Daniel, he felt heard. And when Hawk was talking to Johnny and then Crease, and that's all any of these kids want is an adult to listen to them. And unfortunately, all of the adults who are listening to them are screwballs who cannot stop fighting each other.
Yeah.
Other than Amanda.
Other
Who's
than
the only
Amanda,
adult.
she is
Who's
the
only
queen.
adult.
Yes.
The only
She's my
adult in the
favorite
show.
She's my favorite favorite character, to be honest, because she's funny and just like the complete opposite of Daniel a little bit. Like one of the moments I laughed my ass off in, and that was actually in season 2, was when they were at the restaurant and the hostess was like, "Oh, is there going to be a problem?" And she just so casually says, "Oh yeah, they have orange karate dojos. Can I get a drink?" Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I get a
That was a
double
great
margarita?
moment.
and she was just saying it like she's just like, "Yeah, I'm here to babysit, and that's it," you know.
A bunch of 2-year-olds
Um,
is what she's there for.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in season 3, she's also really really funny. Like, you know, when she's at the police station, and the guy's talking about how Kreese was in the army and he's a veteran and he should be highly respected. And she's like, "I don't give a shit if he has 50 purple or 50
Purple
purple
Hearts.
hearts."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like she's just like so over it, and she's my favorite character. And then my second favorite character is Miguel, just because he's just got a really good moral compass, and you know, even he tries to do what's right. I mean, he could have easily broken Robbie's arm
Yeah.
at the end of season 2, and he stopped and said, "I'm sorry," and you know, and then you know what happens. The
Well,
crack.
I kind of also think like he had he known that Robbie was going to probably push him off the stairs, he probably would have broken his arms. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
I would have.
Well, he got mad this season at Johnny. He's like, I listened to you. I showed mercy.
Yep. And this is the thanks I get.
And he's like, I trusted you, and you know, and then he's like, just leave, and I was just like, oh man, this is just so heavy.
Yep.
Which made all those successful moments with him with his legs so much more satisfying, and you know, made so it was more heartwarming.
Yes.
Just to see him be able to walk again, yelling at Johnny, because he's like, "No, you're the one who's quitting," and then yeah, you know, like you'd see that he's got a good moral compass. He was trying to help Johnny, at the same time he's just as strong as Johnny said he was.
Yep.
Was nice.
Which is really great. Before we wrap up the show, is there anything else we wanted to talk about? Jess? Anything you wanted to mention?
You know, we haven't really talked much about Tori, and she is awful. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like she's not.
That
But
bitch.
she's awful in the way that a teenage girl who's dealing with a lot of stuff is awful. You know, so
Yeah.
I'm willing to give her, and also is kind of an anime villain. Like,
But like,
you know,
she is an anime villain, but also like, I kind of get like where she's coming from. Like, she's got the shit end of the stick. Like, even Robbie, who did the worst of the worst. Like, yes, she may have started it, but I feel like Robbie definitely almost killed a guy. And
Yeah.
I think she got the shit end of the stick. Like, yeah, she shouldn't have started the fight, but also, like, I don't see why there's need for probation for her to start a school fight. People fucking start school fights all the time, and
Not like that though, dude.
yeah, but like she didn't know it was going to go that way.
She attacked a school counselor or whoever.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
how
right.
she took over the mic, and she brought a weapon into it. She
Yeah.
had the spikes.
Yeah.
She brought a weapon.
Was
into
that
it. That was a
technically that was a
different
necklace?
It was you know what? I know we could not have those at school because it was considered a weapon. And for that
Absolutely.
very reason, it was the spikes.
That's
and
fair.
so, like, you know, but I'm at the same time, yeah, looking at her, she has a sick mom, which I can totally relate to, it absolutely wears you down, especially when you're taking care of your siblings.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work and it's really hard. And then to add on top of that, she was being targeted by that creepy old
Yeah.
landlord
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
entire time. She has every right to be angry. I just wish Kreese had not been the savior.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like things could have been so, things could go such a different way for her. But that's kind of the thing. It's everything can go such a different way if for anyone in any kind of circumstance. It just kind of, you have to choose your path with what you have. And more like she basically had 4 paths: Johnny, Daniel, Kreese, or leave karate behind and figure something else out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's that's the common theme here is like, but it's bullying and it's wanting an adult to listen. And for her, unfortunately, Kreese was the only one that she thought would listen to him or her, sorry. And that's what kind of put her on even a darker path than she already had. So, and having to take care of her mother and all that. I do like how Miguel called her out and said, "You didn't visit me even once." And then she went back to the fight and she's like, "Oh, I just felt so bad that I started the fight and this," and she, Miguel's like, "I don't care about the fight. I cared about us. You didn't even see me. You didn't not even once." And the kind of thing was heartbreaking because you just didn't you could just see that her morals were completely different than Miguel's, and then Miguel's like, "Well, no one else got hurt. I'm the one in a wheelchair."
Yeah.
So that was an emotional.
And in Miguel's thing, and there's, you could have done something, but you decided to do nothing.
But also, like, I can't kind of really blame her for not visiting Miguel because as a socially awkward person, I can't really see how me starting that conversation. Hey, yeah, I'm sorry. I started a fight that ended up with you not almost losing the ability to walk. Like, I just don't see that conversation going well for her at all. Like, and I'm sure his mom probably would have flipped the fuck out.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. Sorry, Jess. I cut you off.
Yeah, that was me by fault.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I was. No, her and Robbie are, they had the most kind of disappointing arcs, I guess I would say.
Yeah.
Because you just don't want them to go down that path, and they do it anyway, and it's a bummer. But they're also teenage boys, well, teenage kids with like not great situations.
Yeah.
And technically, we could have seen Miguel or Hawk go down those routes, and the fact that they didn't, like, you see that kind of divergence is really like, it's a silly, ridiculous show that's got a lot of anime stuff happening, but at the same time they do a lot of really cool things.
I think that's why I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Very anime to an extreme, like extreme situations that are somewhat hyperbolic, but you can't look away.
Absolutely. I still stand by saying, like, I'm hoping season 4 comes out next year, January 1st. Just because
Cool.
It's such a great way to start off the new year. Like, again, I'm very hype. I'm very like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And I hope that's how next year starts. Hopefully we're not in a, pandemic still, but yeah.
Yeah, we shall see.
We shall see. Anybody else want to bring up anything?
I can't decide if I'm glad or not that they didn't. I wonder if Miguel's recovery was a little too fast.
Oh yeah, probably.
Oh, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna, because at the end of season 2, as soon as it ended, we're like, oh no, like, what do you think happened to him? And oh, you think he's gonna end up in a wheelchair? Is he gonna have like Legend of Korra, like Avatar Korra's, like, where she has to kind of go through therapy and kind of figure out how to get her legs under her again, but also work through the trauma. And are we going to have that story in there? And I was kind of hoping for that. And I mean, like, I was in a wheelchair for 2 years and I just wasn't really, I was like, it sucks when you're in it.
Like,
and so
was it like nerve damage though, or was it something else?
mine?
Yeah.
I have lupus, so
Okay.
it was just general illness and not really being able to walk around under my own power. And so just coming from that perspective, I was looking at this wheelchair be just such a prop for 2 seconds and not really seeing, like, we saw PTSD and this trauma with Sam because every time Tori came up, she had a full-on panic attack, and it was genuine post-traumatic stress disorder. And I was like, get that girl help. And then with Miguel, we didn't see that. He was barely in the wheelchair, it seemed. He didn't really have any trauma from being kicked off a second floor balcony and hitting a pole and then hitting steps on his back. Like, he's got to have trauma for that. And why, like, the show was just going so quickly, we didn't get to really explore that. And I just don't really know how I feel about that, because we're seeing trauma and stuff in these other characters and just not in him. And so I don't know, I almost felt like the wheelchair, I don't know, it felt disrespectful, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan.
All right, so I'm going to chime in on that. So as far as nerve damage goes, I've actually had nerve damage all over my arm before, and so I couldn't feel any of it, and I couldn't move it at all for about 3 months. And the thing with nerve damage that my specialist said at the time was that the thing with nerve damage is that when you don't know, like, it could be, especially for the arm, it could be 1 week or up to 6 months that you have this nerve damage. But once you're able to twitch something on command, it happens really fast. So after like a week and a half of me first being able to twitch my finger, just even a little bit, it healed within like a week and a half, like nothing happened. I obviously had some muscle atrophy, but like other than that, it just happened so quickly. But the healing process didn't start till 3 months, and like I said, and then like I said that my specialist said it could have been 1 week that could have happened where you could start feeling stuff, or could it be 6 months from now? So like I think Miguel got the lucky end of the stick, and since as soon as he saw that he was tapping his foot, I think all of his nerve damage just healed quickly because of that. But it could have taken longer, obviously. But he got lucky, especially because of the surgery. But I do agree with you on the mental trauma, 100%. He fell off a balcony. You'd think he'd have some sort of PTSD from that. Him seeing Robbie, the first thing he did was somewhat confront him when they were in the backyard, and he saw Sam and Miguel doing their little dance or whatever. And so yeah, as far as mental trauma, I 100% agree that he should have been a little bit more shaken up. But as far as the nerve damage goes, I think it was realistically quick after the foot tap.
I think after the foot tap with why did Dee Snider have to be there?
What was
He's the greatest rocker of all time.
What was the time frame
I made the
for
mistake
this
of watching Strangeland. Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Oh,
I think I could find that for you. Give me a sec.
It ends at Christmas and it starts up when they get back to school from
So,
summer.
like 4 months,
So
yeah.
from August to December.
4 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've been trying to figure that out for them. Like, it felt like it was moving fast, but it was also like, at least in the first couple episodes when he was still in a coma and stuff, it'd be like 2-week jumps at a time and stuff.
Yeah, they did time jumps for sure. They had to have.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
been real ambiguous with it, though.
Yeah, I'm like, has it been like 4 weeks or like 4 months? I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dimitri's arm was broken for like an episode and a half.
Yeah.
And it just.
Then he
I
has a
totally
sling.
I totally love
Yeah,
when,
it just-
when Yasmin like signs the penis and it, like totally like it totally like, changes the vibe where it's like thanks.
Yep.
And then she's like, let's not make this
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, they made it a thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and then they definitely made out. Yeah, after that.
Which is great. I think Dimitri's the real winner this season.
I guess his confidence went up so much that like it goes to show. He's like not scared to go talk to her. Because I remember in the first season where I laughed my ass off during this. It's when Miguel first sat at their table.
Yeah.
He's like, I would kill you both just for her to spit on me.
Okay.
Great.
Pretty great.
Show.
Yeah. Good way to end the show. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do some plugs before we sign off here. Holland, anything to plug?
I am Grizzly Expressions on Instagram and on Twitter.
Sorry, what was it on Twitter? You cut out.
Holland Mahoney Jr.
Okay, cool.
And I'll plug that I turn 29 tomorrow.
Yes, congratulations. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday!
Thank you. And my dad turns 50, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go see
Happy
him.
birthday to him.
Thanks.
Ryan, anything to plug?
I'll be plugging my Twitter, which I'm pretty sure is above me if I remember how we do these things.
Yep, that's right.
And that is Ryan the Lion 3055 for
Okay.
whatever I'll be up to, which will soon be the upcoming anime podcast.
Yes. Do you have any
Awesome.
idea when we're starting that? Time frame. You
I
know?
expect first episode next week.
Oh. Oh, okay, all right.
Oh, wow.
First, yeah.
Okay, cool. Sash, anything to plug?
No, not really. I mean, like, if you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it's the same as, it's Sergeant SquarePants, the way it's spelled on the,
Screen?
on the bottom left, and then, same with PSN and Xbox. So if you guys want
Cool.
to communicate, you can do that. But that's it.
Okay, cool. Jess, anything you want to plug?
Well, I'm at Kikio1506 basically everywhere, including Xbox and PlayStation. Although I don't play PlayStation much, but if you want to add me, maybe one day.
That's upsetting.
And I will be back for other episodes
Yes.
that I don't know if have been announced yet.
Yes, they have. The Hamilton podcast.
Awesome.
We are doing the 21st of January, which is very exciting. Very exciting. I can't wait for this. Oh, God. That's all I listen to now. On my way home, on my way to work, at work, is just Hamilton. And I'm okay with that. My life has become Hamilton. And that's
2
okay.
years late, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm going to plug our new content that is going up, like Ryan said, first episode of the anime podcast is going up next week.
The penultimate episode.
No, that's not how that works.
What's
Penultimate
gonna
is
be
the
name
second to last.
What was going to be the name
It's
of
the
the
second
anime
to last.
podcast?
It was a short run.
The anime. Oh God, the anime podcast is going to be called Anime Nation, right, Ryan? I think.
Yeah.
Okay, we're sticking with that. Me and Eric are doing our Marvel Mondays podcast where we're talking about reviewing every WandaVision episode the Monday after it airs, which is going to be great. And Eric is
I will.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was saying I will very much want to be on a few of those episodes.
Okay. I'll let you know when you can jump on. And Eric is also bringing back his Destiny podcast, which is supposed to be quarterly, but I think he said he wants to do it, more often, which is fine by me. Like I said before, Eric, you do what you want to do, buddy. Like whatever makes you happy. You want to make a full week of Destiny podcast? Go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. All right.
1 week straight, no sleep.
Destiny
Just all,
Bonanza.
Yeah, 24/7, a 24/7 podcast where it's all week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is fine.
just tune in and you're there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, not even playing Destiny, just talking about Destiny.
Talking about it.
Yeah, which is
We'll
great.
just be reading more. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I can't wait for the next time we're on this, which I think is next week. Sorry, I had to burp. I think next episode is going to be. I don't even remember. I have it here. Hold on. Something. I think we're back with the Penultimate Conquest podcast on Monday, talking about Cyberpunk and
Isn't that your cyberpunk?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
How much of a
we are.
maybe of a shit show it is, depending on where you play it. We'll see. Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Bye. You have a
having-
good night
Bye.
Thanks
too.
for having me. Bye.
No problem. Bye.